And here we are, he's back. The long-awaited savior, the global phenomenon, the man expected to turn every ball into gold, every action into a goal, every night into triumph. His return was supposed to be a celebration. It was supposed to shake Europe. It was supposed to restart the Madrid machine. But the truth is harsh. Since his comeback, Real Madrid hasn't been winning like before. And that's something nobody wanted to hear. Nobody was ready to say it. Yet the numbers speak, the faces speak, the pitch speaks. A team that once moved with fluidity now looks restricted. A team that used to breathe confidence now seems to be searching for air. A team that knew exactly where it was going suddenly looks hesitant, heavy, nervous. And at the center of this storm stands one massive name, Mbappé. Yes, saying this is shocking. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it provokes reactions. Because in modern football, some stars seem untouchable. Some icons enjoy almost sacred media protection. But the pitch never lies for long. Since his return, Real Madrid has not been chaining the expected victories. Matches have become more complicated. Automatism has broken down. Runs overlap poorly. Players look for each other. Space is closed down. And one question keeps growing louder. Is Real Madrid actually better today with Mbappé in the starting lineup? It's a harsh question, maybe an unfair one, but a legitimate one, because before his return, the team was finding collective solutions. The attacking patterns looked more natural. Transitions were faster. Vinicius had more freedom. Midfielders pushed forward more. Roles were clear. Everyone knew their zone, timing, and importance. Then the superstar returns, and everything changes. Of course it does. When a player of this caliber enters the lineup, the entire ecosystem shifts. And so everything is adjusted around him. Passes are directed toward him. Movements are modified. Positions are reorganized. The expectation becomes, he decides, he unlocks, he saves. And sometimes, by relying too much on one man, the whole structure becomes unbalanced. The hardest part isn't even the lack of wins. It's the visual feeling, that strange impression that the team is forcing things. That every action requires more effort. That instinct has been replaced by hesitation. And at the highest level, a single second of hesitation is an entire world lost. Real Madrid, a club built on killer instinct, sometimes now looks like it is overthinking instead of striking. The French press has already pointed it out. Mbappé has gone silent in several La Liga matches. A first since his arrival in Madrid. For a player seen as a goal machine, silence instantly becomes noise. Every match without scoring becomes a trial. Every missed chance becomes a symbol. Every absent smile becomes a topic. That is the price of greatness. And while this happens, opponents don't look at marketing posters. They look at space. They analyze movements. They know a team in tactical transition is vulnerable. They know a giant in doubt bleeds like any other. So they press. They close lanes. They wait for mistakes. And Real Madrid, once feared, sometimes finds itself managing fear instead. The European match showed it again. Despite a goal against Bayern Munich, despite individual brilliance, Madrid lost 2-1 at home. A painful defeat, a heavy one that increases pressure before the return leg. Because scoring is not enough to control a game. One moment of brilliance doesn't hide structural cracks. Football is cruel. It rarely rewards reputation, it rewards balance. And that is exactly where the debate lies. The Vinicius-Mbappé duo looks terrifying on paper. Two speedsters, two dribblers, two weapons of mass destruction. But in reality, talent alone doesn't guarantee harmony. Two players attacking the same space can interfere with each other. Two offensive leaders can slow patterns if their instincts are not synchronized. The key word is automatism. And it says everything. Top-level football is decided by invisible details. Knowing whether a teammate attacks the near post or drops deep, whether he wants feet or space, whether he presses or holds shape. These details create seconds of advantage. And those seconds create goals. Right now, that shared language is still under construction. Criticism comes quickly, sometimes too quickly. Some already say, he broke the dynamic. Others, the team was better without him. These are explosive statements, emotional ones, but they contain a feeling-based truth. The team did look freer before his return. However, emotion is not the full truth. Because integrating a player like Mbappé is not like adding a normal piece to a normal machine. It's like installing a Formula One engine into an already moving structure. You must reinforce the chassis, adjust the trajectory, rethink energy distribution. This kind of talent requires time. The disappointment is real, visible, even logical. Real Madrid fans don't want promises. They want immediate results. This is a club where history weighs on every minute. A draw feels like warning. A loss feels like scandal. And multiple winless games feel like crisis. So when the most anticipated star arrives and results don't follow, pressure becomes volcanic. But blaming one man is too simple. When a team struggles, it is never just the striker. Where is midfield control? Where is defensive stability? Where is physical freshness? Where is creativity between the lines? Football loves individual scapegoats, but reality is always more complex. Mbappé attracts criticism because he attracts light. But how many invisible errors exist around him? How many misplaced passes in midfield? How many tactical imbalances? How much accumulated fatigue in a brutal schedule? A team is never one name. And history shows us something important. Great football partnerships often start slowly. Legendary duos needed months to connect. Galactico teams often looked chaotic before becoming dominant. Noise often comes before harmony. Vinicius and Mbappé could still become a nightmare for Europe. But it will require sacrifice. Who stays wide? Who moves inside? Who presses first? Who takes fewer touches? Who runs for the other? Talent opens the door. Sacrifice walks through it. The current tone is disappointment because expectations were unreal. People imagined instant domination. Return, goals, victories, celebration. But football doesn't follow scripts. Reality resists. And now we must stay balanced. Yes, the results are worrying. Yes, automatism is missing. Yes, performances are inconsistent. But no, everything is not broken. No, the project is not doomed. No, Mbappé is not a failure. This is turbulence, not collapse. Players of this magnitude always go through media overreactions. 1 month they are extraterrestrials, the next they are problems. Truth is usually in between. Mbappé remains one of the most dangerous attackers in the world. His speed is still elite. His movement is still world class. His ability to decide matches in one action remains intact. Real Madrid remains Real Madrid, a club that has survived far worse crises, deeper transitions, and more chaotic rebuilds. It knows how to turn criticism into fuel. The defeat against Bayern does not erase the possibility of a comeback. Madrid's history is full of impossible nights. If any team can flip a narrative, it is this one. And Mbappé, in fact, thrives in these moments. Great players respond when pressure rises. Criticism becomes energy. Doubt becomes motivation. One big performance can change everything in 90 minutes. The smartest approach is not blind praise or premature judgment. It is patience with analysis. Football is never static. A team lost in April can be unstoppable in May. Because if it finally clicks, today's criticism will become tomorrow's necessary transition phase. Difficult periods often produce the most dangerous teams. Mbappé may not have broken Real Madrid's dynamic. He may simply have forced it to evolve faster than expected. And major evolution never starts in comfort. Today, doubt is loud. Tomorrow, maybe, the pitch will silence it. That is football's only permanent truth. Nothing is finished, nothing is fixed, and the loudest judgments are often the ones that age the worst. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share.